Hi everybody, I'm Tom Spellman with Dave Wilson Nursery. We're up in the San Bernardino Mountains today, up in Oak Glen at about the 5,000 foot elevation. We're here with our apple friend Kevin Hauser, and we're going to tour Riley's farm. Riley's farm has been an active growing, apple growing establishment all the way back to before the turn of the century. Right now we're in their old, what they call their monster grove, and these are trees that were planted from the 1920s through the 1940s and have been here producing apples ever since. So Kevin, tell us what varieties we have right here today.
Well, we have Rome Beauty and we have Red Rome. Rome Beauty is the original variety. About 1860, came from Rome Township in Ohio. This was the stock pioneer apple. It blossomed very late in the year, and so it missed a lot of the killing frost that would take out other apples. It was very versatile. It's good for fresh eating, cooking, and cider, and it kept very well, and so it was very valuable to the pioneers. However, as you can see, the color is pretty bland.
Right.
Red Rome is a sport, in other words, an offshoot of Rome Beauty. Much better color, but unfortunately, flavor is not nearly as good as the original Rome Beauty. However, if you see Rome in the supermarket, it's going to be Red Rome.
Right.
Pretty bland for fresh eating, but when you cook it or bake it in a pie, it does wake up the flavor and make a good pie apple.
And I agree with you on the flavor. We sliced up one of each a little bit earlier, and although this is a beautiful piece of fruit, the flavor was twice as good on the old line. So it looks like we've got some Granny Smith here, Kevin. We had a fine one down at your house yesterday. This one's grown at about 4,000 foot higher elevation. I don't think it's really a whole lot riper than one we had at your house yesterday, but
now Granny Smith seems to do well wherever it's grown, whether in a colder climate or a hotter climate. It gets about the same size, same quality. It's a very, very adaptable apple. It does love long, hot summers, and so we're happy to be able to grow them down there too.
Absolutely. Kevin, these look like they're really old timers. It looks like they've been here since the inception of the ranch. What varieties are these?
These are Gravenstein. These are the old cooking varieties. It's wonderful for about a week. If you get them when they're too green, they're sour. When you get them when they're too ripe, they're mushy. But for a few days there's just nothing like it. They ripen very early in the year, like in September. And it just has this wonderful spicy appley taste to them that bakes a wonderful pie, and it's wonderful for fresh eating for small season, but for that small season there's just nothing like them.
Yeah, it looks like there's quite a number of these old timers on the property and lots of spur wood on them, so it looks like they had a real healthy crop again this year.
Yes, they have.
So Kevin, this is the block that we put in that were Dave Wilson trees we put in a couple years ago. Looks like they're doing considerably better now that they've been mulched this year.
Yeah, the mulch has helped a lot keep their evaporation down and kept the weeds away from the trees, so they're just weed whacking in like a 3-foot circle around it instead of having to carefully get up around the tree without girdling the tree.
Right, and I also noticed that the irrigation system's all the way in, and you said it's just a gravity flow irrigation system.
Gravity flow irrigation coming from a big tank up on the hillside. The terraces go up just about as high as they can right now with that gravity tank. These terraces were here back from the Blackie Wilshire days, even back as far as the 30s. They terraced this hillside and had some crop growing on them, and then the forest pretty much took it over. The underbrush came and grew down here, so they didn't have to terrace these. All they did was clear the brush off on them.
Right. Well, Kevin, it looks like Pink Lady's doing real well. We've got some fruit set on some of these, and the fruit quality looks good. The color looks good. Let's try one out.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Sweet, tart.
It's going to be a great piece of fruit up here.
It is. It's going to do very well up here. Pink Lady likes a nice long hot season, and even up at this altitude they still get some heat, and it ripens these up really nice.
The nice thing is they get enough chill during the evening that the color is going to come up real well.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a beautiful place to grow these.
Well, it looks like it's about the end of season for raspberries, but there's still a couple of good ones left.
Yeah, they really do well up here. They have a very popular raspberry patch up here. They also grow blackberries and olala berries. The berries have been very popular with them. One of the first things that they've been trying up here is strawberries. They've been doing strawberries the last 2 years, and they're still picking them. If you're accustomed to those big, red, but woody and tasteless ones in the supermarket.
I've seen them, but I don't eat them.
If you remember back in Orange County in the days when they would have roadside strawberry stands, and you people who remember those things know what I'm talking about, have the smaller strawberries that seem to melt on the counter after a day, but oh, the flavor and the aroma of those things,
absolutely,
you could still pick them here.
Yeah, and I understand they make a mean raspberry shake up here.
They do. It's to die for.
Wonderful. So it looks like there's a few pears mixed in up here, Kevin. Looks like they're pretty old trees too, maybe from the 40s or 50s.
Yes, these are old pears and they do well every single year. Some years are iffy with the apple crop, but it seems like the pears are just bomb-proof. They get something every year, very huge crop, and still trying to get people to try the pears out as well as the apple.
Well, this is known as apple country, so people don't come up here expecting to find pears, but I'll bet they grow some nice fruit up here.
Yes, they do.
So what are we doing with these, Kevin?
These are apples from another ranch just over the hill from here that still has a lot of old apple trees. All of these planted around 1912, and they can't pick enough apples here to keep up with the demand, and so they pick these over at the other ranch and bring them over. They're still fresh, mountain grown, local apples, and they use these for the cider press, which is a worthy use for these apples.
So these cider presses, I would imagine, probably run all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And
yep, I got a steady line of people here and a steady supply of kid power, grinding up the apples into the pumice buckets, then sliding them over underneath the press, and they put the big disc on the bucket, and then kid takes a axe handle and grinds it down, and fresh cider comes out the bottom. And this bucket here comes to this amber liquid that they call the Ambrosia of the gods. We do taste tests side by side with treetop apple juice and little Dixie cups for the kids, and they taste the real stuff and then they taste the treetop, and they want the good stuff. And once they know what the good stuff is, they don't settle for the treetop.
Yeah, nothing like fresh squeezed juice.
Yeah.
So Kevin, lots of apples, lots of pears, lots of pumpkins, lots of berries, but it really looks to me like the real deal here is the agritourism. It looks like they're bringing in lots of school classes and lots of scout troops, and I know the weekends, I've been here on Saturday before, and the weekends are a madhouse with people coming up just to enjoy the fresh air and pick a few apples and have fun. How many kids do you think they run through here a year?
Oh, I see 5 or 6 school buses every day in the parking lot during the school tours, which runs during the week, and so thousands and thousands of kids, and a lot of them are repeat. They come up here every year as part of their school curriculum.
Well, I think that this is just a great way to bring up kids from the city and expose them to a little bit of what farm life is like and what the Revolutionary period was like and what the Western period was like. And I think what Riley's have done here from an agritourism base, I think, is just a phenomenal facility, and they should be real proud of their accomplishment.
I agree.
Tom Spellman and Kevin Hauser from Riley's Farm.